Good morning and welcome to another episode of Fixing This 2023 BMW 320d 3 Series. And if you've seen the previous episodes, we pretty much stripped the entire front end. I have ordered the parts to come in, so we have to wait for those ones to arrive, and then we can work on the front end of the car and make the car 100% in the front end part of it. But we have so much to do. We have removed the front end glass, but as you can see, the airbag has been deployed for the passenger side. The steering airbag has been deployed as well. The knee airbag for the driver, and also all of the curtain airbags. Also, I can see this driver side seat belt has been locked off and kind of muddy and moldy now, yuck. So with all of that, it means we have to change the dashboard, change the steering airbag, the knee airbag, the curtain airbag, and possibly remove the headliner as well to put it back on again. It's just so much work to do, but for now, let's start by removing the seat belts, the seats, and the center console.
And for that, we remove the 2 bolts in the front, then we remove the 2 bolts in the back, unplug the connector underneath of the seat, and then I realized that the seat belt is bolted into the seat itself.
And of course, that screw is not coming off. Maybe it's best to remove the entire assembly of the seat belt, since we're gonna do it regardless, and then try to open that screw on the floor. So I have opened this entire trim piece in order to be able to open the seat belt and then go on with the seat. And you can see BMW does things a bit differently than Mercedes, doesn't it? I mean, there's this foam, there's this one, I don't know, like, is it too over-engineered? I mean, I do appreciate the attention to detail that BMW is putting on everything, but this just makes the repair a tiny bit more challenging.
First, we are tackling these pillar anchors. Just 2 screws and the belt is loose. Down low, we got the retractor. Once the main bolt is out, the whole machine is ready to move. Don't forget to remove the SRS pre-tensioner plug, snip that clip, and the seat is officially free.
And I managed to remove the bolt.
We repeat the same for the passenger side. A few more bolts, some trim prying, and boom. We got 2 seats on the shop floor and the car is now empty. But this is where the real work begins though.
All right, so let's start removing this center console.
To get this dash out, the center console has to be stripped. We are prying off the inner trim first, then we are going for the silver iDrive surround, or whatever BMW is calling it these days. Once that's out of the way, you've got 4 screws securing the control module. Get those removed so we can lift the unit. Next, slide to the back and pop the rear vent so you can remove those connectors. Finally, we are yanking the cup holder housing, and that's it. We are officially cleared the way and one step closer to removing the dashboard.
Okay, so all the connectors are off, and I think just like the Mercedes, probably if I open these 2 screws plus the screws here and these 2 screws which are located here and here, in my world, or in my mind, that should be enough to move this central console. I mean, unless BMW has decided to use 15 other bolts to keep it in, I don't see anything crazy. I hope this is enough to move this center dashboard out of the way. I learned my lesson and I couldn't be more wrong. Just like the cup holder, underneath the cover for the center dash storage, there are 2 bolts. So we need to open these as well. Okay, that was all the screws. Let's see if this is enough now to remove the central dashboard. Whoa. Okay, this one is coming off now. Okay, I don't see any screws holding this center dashboard, and yay! Ooh. And we have liftoff. Now we can move on to the next stage of this build, removing the dashboard and that big screen along with the steering wheel. There you go. one screw to open it up. Oh, sorry, car. All right, let's stuck in the dashboard, and there we go. All right, these ones removed. All right, this one was just a cover. I mean, no big deal. And this one, apparently you can just pull it off, just like that. And now we have access to more screws. And there you go.
Next up, we're gonna get the steering wheel out of the way. With the airbag gone, we can finally get the socket on that center bolt and pull the wheel off. That leaves the steering wheel column shroud. It's just two plastic halves that clip together, pop those out, and we've got access to the instrument cluster. It's only held by two screws at the bottom and the screws that we removed before. We'll get those out of the way, and now we can slide the screen out.
But I'm so glad that we were able to remove the screen, and now we can move on.
Next, we are prying the center vent trim right out of the dashboard. That gives us access to the HVAC control module, or whatever this thing is, or BMW calls it. And now we can start undoing bolts to remove the dashboard.
All right, so for the dashboard, I pretty much removed every single screw that I could see. For example, one next to the pillar on this side and that side, few at the bottom of the dashboard, some of them here, some of them here. All right, let's see if we can remove this dashboard. I really hope we have opened all the screws and there's no wires holding it back. Let's see. All right, let's see if you're moving. Oh, okay. All right, looks like you get this module that you have to remove as well. It was hiding behind that cover piece.
And after I removed those connectors, I was finally able to remove that dashboard from the car and pull it out of the cabin of the car. And finally we can see all of these connectors and wires that are working together behind this dashboard. Now let's get some sleep and get right back at it.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. So today is the day. We have all the parts that we need to put this car back together. So I think it's best to work on the interior and then we can work our way out to the front of the car. So the first thing we need to do is to put the airbags on. These are the roof airbags that we can put them on. I also have received 2 seat belts as part of the package for the dashboard, this and the driver seat belt. So I guess we can put this on, and then while we are there, we can put the front seat belts for the left and right. And first we can start with the roof airbags. So these all came as a kit. I guess the best is to put these airbags on, and then after that we can slide the roof inside the car, steam it out, see if we can take those wrinkles out. And if all goes well, we can move on to the rest of the interior.
Alright, time to tackle something that always makes me a little bit nervous on a salvage build. The safety systems. We are putting the new curtain airbags in today. Now, usually dealing with German wiring and safety modules can be a bit challenging, but honestly, BMW made this part a total breeze. Look at this design. The entire curtain airbag is held up by these clever little metal tension clips along the roofline. You don't have to fight them, you literally just line them up, give them a firm push, and snap. They sit themselves perfectly into the frame. But check this out. BMW clearly knew that people like me are gonna be rebuilding these cars because they made this whole setup completely idiot-proof. See the colors? Red means right-hand side and blue means left-hand side. They even stamped LH and RH right onto the brackets just in case you're colorblind. I mean, you physically cannot screw this up. With the airbags out of the way, it's time for the big one, the headliner. Now, let me tell you a universal truth about car restoration. Installing a roof lining is usually a nightmare. But today, we have a massive blessing in disguise because the car was a front impact salvage. The front windshield was completely out because of the airbag. And honestly, I don't think there is any other way to get this massive piece into a G21 interior from the back. Before we just go slinging clips and slapping the roofline into its place, make sure you take care of the wiring harness for the ceiling lights. We have the main map lights for the front and then the dome lights in the middle. Make sure you take care of them first before putting the roofline in. And hey, while I was there, hovering around the B-pillar, I went ahead and bolted in the new driver's side seatbelt mechanism too. 2 birds, 1 stone. And just like that, the upper half of this interior is starting to look like a real car again.
All right, we have made some progress. Let's look at it together. So the roof is back on and I've made all the connections. I still need to iron out a bit on that side. Sorry for the lights. I've put on the seat belt right here and here. Still not 100%, but I thought since we have the space right now, we might as well put it on. And now it's time for the big one. And of course, we are talking about the dashboard. And here is the new dashboard in all its glory. I've added all the old stuff like the computer for the tachometer and also the vents all the way back in. It already has an airbag in it. All we have to do is to slip it in. But we have to be very patient, slowly put the dashboard in, not to damage it. And also we have around 14 connectors. The last thing I want is to remove the entire interior because of one single connector. So let's make sure that does not happen.
And just the way we took out this dashboard, now we are going back in again. I made sure that I line up the dashboard correctly and also to take a note of every single wire that is coming out and make sure I don't miss out any of them and not to leave any of them out. Once I made sure of that, I slowly push the dashboard in, and now we are ready to start bolting in the dashboard back into its place.
All right, so update on the car. I put the dashboard in, the dash is in, the screen is in. I connected the quick controls, and I connected this as well. There's this wire that is going back to nothing. I mean, it's kind of like a piggyback to this button to work. That one we need to figure it out. It just might be nothing. It can happen with these type of cars with the different models and wiring looms. So I think the next best thing to do is to put the center dash in and connect all those wires so we can be one step closer to put the seats in.
Now that the dash is looking right, it's time to reunite the car with its center console. We are sliding this carefully back into position, making absolutely sure none of our module wires gets trapped underneath of it. With everything lined up, we are tightening down the main chassis bolt to secure the console frame to the floor. From here is just super satisfying game of reverse assembly. The cup holder assembly drops back in, followed by the main console trim bezels. Next, we are prepping the driver's seat. Before we fully bolt it down, we need to secure the lower seat belt lap anchor to the side of the seat base, and then plug in the main yellow wiring harness underneath of it. Once that connector clicks home, we can line up the rails, run the final bolts in, and this interior is officially coming together.
All right, time to do exciting stuff. So let's connect the steering wheel the best we can. One connector goes here. So I'll tighten this up and then I'll torque it down to the spec. All right, that's in there. And now it's time to do our airbag module. So this connector goes here, and then the green stuff goes here, and then this should all kind of go into its place. Oh no, I just realized something. Oh, damn. There's a... Well, this is something I didn't realize that was part of the damage. Apparently this trim piece that goes around the steering wheel on the left side is all cracked up. Now, I think this all comes out, but then finding a replacement. Damn it. So that's a bit of a problem. So I took this trim piece out. There are a bunch of screws that you need to open up all around it, and it just comes off. Now, I don't know if this is a part that BMW sells or we need to resort to the secondhand market or not, but I'm just gonna go to BMW and see if they have this or not. After that, since we cannot put the steering wheel on yet, I guess we have no choice but to work on the front end of the car. All right, I came here and they didn't have anything in stock, so we placed the order for a new one. This will come as a whole piece with the black trim around it and the buttons, and it's gonna arrive tomorrow. So once it arrives tomorrow, we can reassemble it back on the steering wheel and put the steering wheel back on the car. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I catch you all on the next episode. Peace.